Now I'm going out on a limb here. I'm thinking you probably love not having to cut weight.
Yeah, I love not having to cut weight. But you know what? I'm still eating healthy. I'm eating clean. You know, just because I'm fighting heavyweight, I'm not like going out partying, eating McDonald's and stuff like that. I'm not doing all that. This is a fight. I still got to be on point.
I think it had everything. It's definitely, it's hard to say, is it the best ever? But it's definitely one of the best cards ever. And as like you said with the Melendez-Sanchez, one of the better fights. I don't think greatest all time. I think Rogan and Goldberg get a little carried away in the moment because we've heard them say greatest fight all time. I mean, how many times?
It's hard. It's hard.
He had to preface it. This is my new favorite fight of all time.
Aldo's challenger has shown that actions can speak louder than words.
Ricardo Lamas has been kind of like the Where's Waldo of the UFC. There's a guy that's one of the toughest guys in the division, but the average fan hasn't really seen him. And Marcus has to take on Wayne Barrett. It's a tough match for him. Marcus obviously loves the clinch, and we know the Glory rules. The clinch is not allowed, nor elbows. Those are two very, very strong points of Simon Marcus's game that are stripped from him. A lot of people maybe don't know the background of Pat Berry. You know, he's a guy that medaled in Sanchow. He's a guy that, you know, fought in K1. I think the toughest challenge for Pat Berry is getting back into the comfortability of being in kickboxing.
There's just under 3 minutes.
Another 1-2 by the big Texan.
Sokaju is on wobbly legs.
Rubber legs by Sokaju. Bantel in the corner. Uppercut again. Sokaju he's fallen out of the ring. Sokaju has fallen out of the ring. Sokaju, I can't believe they're not calling this fight. My God, he can't even move. And folks, I can get into this any day of the week. Louis Long coming out to Pantera. 11-3, the fighter from Wales, nicknamed The Foot. Fights out of the Matt Academy, 5 career submission victories. Has fought in Olympia MMA, has fought in Cage Warriors, and he lives in Pontypridd, Wales. Here's the replay. Fell to the ground, got the gable grip. There it is again, switches to gable. Standing, both hooks in, goes down, and there he's out. Wow. Buentello pours another left hand, and that's it. There it is. Don't mess with Texas. Paul Buentello with the knockout here in the final round. Unbelievable performance by the 18-year MMA vet. Wow.
Condit mixing things up nicely here.
You can make a case for him being the best striker in the 170 division.
What do you do with him?
DC, I mean, to me, like right now, the D's starting to stand for diva. Here's a guy that's the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix. He comes in, right, and I want to fight Jones after I fight Frank Mir. Well, you had a lackluster boarfest against Frank Mir. Then you went out and did what you were supposed to do and beat Roy Nelson. Now you're going to drop down. You already called out Jones the first time, right? Now, all right, I don't want to fight Jones. I want to fight Gustafsson. I don't want to fight Phil Davis. I'm not going to fight Kane. I won't fight Gustafsson in Sweden. I mean, what's next? A tour rider? Does he want a bowl of green M&Ms in the back room for the next UFC? I mean, he finished Chad Mendes in Brazil.
Oh! That's it. Trying to finish it. And it's all over.
Catching him with the knee right before the round ending and running out of the cage before inspectors or anyone could stop him.
Jose Aldo knocks out Chad Mendes and remains
He
the
just
UFC
ran out of the
featherweight
octagon
champion.
and ran right into the crowd.
That was one of the most craziest moments that the sport's ever seen.
I'm here at the MMA World Expo in the Jacobs Center, downtown New York City, with UFC lightweight Jamie Varner. Jamie, 2-1 since you returned to the UFC. You were out of the UFC for 5 years. Been kind of a whirlwind for you. How's it feel?
It's good to be back. It's good to be back in the UFC, man. I was 21, 22 years old when I first started fighting for him.
I get off the beaten path here, but with Tito, when you're talking about risking paralysis, you open this whole other can of worms. Not just Tito. What fighter's going to want to fight Tito? If I'm a fighter, I don't want to get in there and be the guy that's responsible for Tito's paralysis. I think that we have to look at that side too. What fighter's going to agree to be in there with Tito and something happens to him and that kind of injury where he could be in a wheelchair the rest of his life, he doesn't have anything to prove. Like Chuck said, his heyday's long been over. Ida is one of the toughest guys. He's always been one of the biggest guys, the best strikers. He's going to be highly motivated going against Rico Verhoeven. And Rico Verhoeven's, still improving his game too. He's got a lot of motivation and a lot of momentum coming off that tournament victory. So I expect Conor, for all intents and purposes, gets the victory here, and he's right back in the title discussion. Probably faces the winner of Hendricks and Lawler.
It's fun. It's fun. I'm actually having more fun now. For some reason, I don't know why, but I am.
It's got to be because you're not cutting weight, right?
Yeah, probably because I'm eating a little bit more now, so I'm good. I'm good.
All right, well, thanks for a few minutes. Anthony Johnson, World Series of Fighting, taking on Andrei Arlovsky, March 23rd at Revel Casino in Atlantic City.